There's a kind of outsourcing we rarely talk about, one that looks sacred on the outside, but quietly hollows us out. We hand over responsibility for our inner world, for our questions, our growth, even our healing. We trade it for the comfort of someone else's clarity. Maybe that's a guru, a system, a group that promises belonging. And often it feels like devotion. But is it? Today on Must I Evolve, I'm talking about what happens when we spiritually outsource, when we mistake following for evolving, and how to take your soul's power back without losing your sense of reverence or connection.
Welcome to Must I Evolve, a lecture series on spiritual growth and philosophy, presented in conjunction with No Expectations, the podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Must I Evolve, a space where ancient wisdom meets modern science, where inner work meets real world results. I'm Andrew H. Housley, author, board certified wellness consultant, certified holistic nutritionist, and yoga instructor with 25 years on the mat and even more in mindful observation. This podcast is a mirror, a question, and sometimes a nudge. Outsourcing at its core means giving away responsibility. Spiritually, it happens when we let someone else do the deep work for us. We follow the steps, repeat the mantras, attend the classes, but never actually confront what's ours to face. It can be subtle. We can say, I trust my teacher's guidance, or this book changed my life. Maybe this is just how it's done in my community. And none of these things are wrong until they silence your own inner voice. And we don't do this because we're weak. We do it because we're scared, because self-responsibility is heavy, because not knowing is vulnerable. We want certainty. We want someone to say, you're on the right path, just keep following it. That's comforting. It gives us the illusion of safety. We want someone to show us the path, yet we forget that the path is unique for each of us. The elephant's path differs from the rabbit's. Why would we follow either? Because we're not an elephant or a rabbit. Out of fear, we tend to cling to someone else's experience as a guiding light. But here's the danger. When you become more loyal to the path or a person than your own truth, your growth begins to stop. We confuse agreement with alignment. We confuse guidance with surrender. And in doing so, we outsource not just our direction, but our voice, our wisdom, our intuition, and sometimes our very sense of self. So how do you reclaim your authority without becoming cold, closed, and skeptical of everything? Maybe start here. Ask yourself, who or what am I afraid to question? Whose approval am I chasing? What have I accepted without ever examining? And then there's this line from a great Zen master that hits like a lightning bolt. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. At first, it sounds blasphemous, but it's the most radical act of liberation. If your image of Buddha, your teacher, your path becomes something you cling to more than your own insight, even that must be released. Because awakening isn't about worship, it's about realization. You're not here to follow a figure, you're here to become free. The real path doesn't make you dependent, it makes you honest, and eventually it makes you sovereign. Thanks for listening to Must I Evolve. If this content resonates with you, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps other people like yourself find us. Thanks again. So pause before you ask someone else for your next step. Before you defer to the next trend or the next answer, ask yourself what you already know and what you're afraid to admit. That's where evolution lives. You're not wanting and waiting to be rescued. You're waiting to show up for yourself. No guru, no system, not even the Buddha can do that for you. Next time, stay sovereign, stay still, and ask not who to follow, but must I evolve? Thanks for listening to Must I Evolve. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be patient. That's the real practice. As for your next evolution, it doesn't live in who you should become. It lives in what already grows within you. Until next time, keep evolving, quietly, consistently, and always with no expectations.